All right, so I got the axle staged, or positioned, I should say, for the shock braces, or shock mounts, I should say. And so now I just need to go ahead and weld it up. And then once I do that, once it's welded up, I can apply the full load of the car on the suspension, and then start setting up the panel rod and the panel rod, and there's one more thing I had the sway bar. So that's what it is. All right, I just finished up the last bit of welding on the axle for the Chevelle. I just added the brake line tabs here and a brake line tab right here. So that was pretty much it. Before I was working on those, I just finished up the panel rod mount there, and I also finished up the brake backing plate that bolts to the back of the axle. So that's done. So basically it's over here. This deal here, I had to make that on the plasma cutter because the old one wouldn't work with C-clip eliminators. So now that is complete. Basically what I'm going to do is blow everything apart and paint it. So I think I'm just going to clear coat the diff cover. And then when the paint is drying, then I'll come over here and I'll finish up on the sway bar. Got to weld those the arms on, and I use some not Harbor Freight, but Big Master car bearings for that. And then there's a couple of welds I need to finish up, and maybe some gusseting for the shock mounts, and then that's pretty much it. I got a new fuel pump coming because the one we have is too small. So yeah, so that's kind of basically everything. While that's drying, I'll be finishing up all those things, and still got welded front mounts. But yeah, so that's kind of where everything stands at this point. I guess I gotta check back later for an update. But so I'll be painting today. All right, so it's time to get after it. All right, it's 5 a.m. on Saturday. The axle's painted, and we are going to start the assembly process. Let's see. So basically, got the axle brackets here, or not axle, sorry. The shock mounts there, all nice and painted up. We got the pennant rod there, lower control arm. Then we got the brake line tab there, sway bar mount here, upper control arm mount there, and the upper brake line there. So basically the same thing on the other side, with the exception to the pennant rod. So now is time to put the center section in over here. So got this here. So it's gonna go in. That's that locker. Not locker, but what is this thing? I forgot what where I got this from. It's not a locker. It's it's one of those Detroit, I think, True Track. Then I got the brake mounts here that I had to fab up on the plasma cutter. So now I just got a bunch of parts laying around that I have to assemble. So I got the tube ends welded. I just gotta paint the lower ones. The upper ones are painted. So yeah, I got a lot of assembly work. So trying to get over with pretty early today because it's gonna be pretty hot. So I'm trying to get after it. All right, so let's go where we're at this morning. Alrighty, I got the axle fully assembled. I should say differential, fully assembled. Got all the hardware on there. Got all ARP on the backing plates. I didn't, obviously these came with the brakes, so those are Wilwood. I'm not gonna mess with those. But I have everything basically done. The brake lines mounted or bent and assembled. Got the end links on there. let's see. Yeah, I mean everything's pretty much where I wanted it to be. Let's see. Yeah, I think everything looks pretty good. It's badass. So now it's just a matter of actually putting it in the car. I got the sway bar here, made that up, so that's done. Painted rod right there, and then underneath the car, I got basically everything painted, everything loomed up really well at the fuel line and the oil purge. That's all plumbed around the bars, and then just wire loomed everything up basically. So now the fun part is actually getting it in the car and then mocking everything up. So that is what's gonna be next. I'm gonna go deal with that, and then I will be back. Man, finally got the diff in. Whew. That was a little bit of a project. So basically, I just need to fasten everything down and torque all the bolts. There's still a couple things I have to do. So I don't know if you can see this, but the brake caliper does make contact with the frame at full bump. So I'm gonna have to notch the frame because these wheels are well, I shortened the heck out of the axle. So, but everything is basically everything is gonna be where it's gonna be. There's no movement of anything else. So basically, got the brake lines done. Everything's mounted. I got the soft line, the hose. That's done. I painted all the bars. I relocated changed the routing of the AccuSump, the oil surge. So that's complete. And I just gotta torque down the shock mounts. I got the bars in, got them painted. So you can see there. So yeah, everything is kind of where it's supposed to go. There's really no interference. So now, the next thing I have to do is the exhaust. So this is my entranceway here of the exhaust. So it's gonna come up. I'm also gonna get a new fuel pump. I think that one's too small. So it's gonna come underneath here, underneath the body. Then it's gonna go right here in the between these two tubes, and then it'll come out between the shock and the sway bar, and then it'll be underneath. It'll come out underneath this this bar right here. So you can kind of see that. So yeah, let's go over here. Kind of see in the front how everything is going. So everything's routed. So yeah, looks pretty good. So the next thing we'll do once we get it running is obviously gonna tune it, see how well it works, and then go from there. So the next video will be the exhaust.